onto Jay. So it's kind of hard. I'm actually favoring Vici's comp overall.
Well, Vici Gaming have the better composition, but how's their execution? We're going to find out here in game number 1 of Vici versus Youngdang Gaming. What?
Third chant for LGD. LGD exists in every single arena. I love what Vici did. Their early level 1 was quite smart. Drop a ward early in the river and prevent the possibility of a Yuumi plus Zoe gank happening. That's the most common type of gank, type of level 1 that we've been seeing recently. And I completely disagree with our completely disagree with the Colonel right here. I think Vici actually just has a better comp from start to finish.
What we're going to have to see as we get into the early pathing here, both junglers starting on the bottom side of the map.
And we do see Trundle just start out alone. This is quite frequent for Trundles. No, I'm sorry. He actually did get a leash from his bot side, I believe. Yeah, we just panned over to him doing the buff alone, but he did actually get a leash from his bot side. We're going to see him going for the standard press the attack, not the SOFM fleet footwork.
SOFM just preferring that sustain, preferring that movement. But the bottom lane, not a whole lot has happened just yet, and both junglers are going to be looking towards finding their objectives. Of course, we talked about it. Flawless wants to look towards this mid lane, and Youngdang is going to be looking towards the top lane against Zoom, try and shut him down. This has been a successful strategy in the past for a lot of teams, especially this split, and that's the reason behind JDG's fall from grace, if it were.
Really good poke early on from the bot lane. JD Gaming actually doing better than I expected here. And if you guys want to watch how Zoom does it, you can head over to both Douyu and Huya. They have tabs for your first-person view. I've actually been learning so much from these. I watch Karsa play, and a fun trick that you can do is that you can get timers with on my way pings. So that actually gives you a time stamp in your chant, and the way Karsa used that is after he finishes a scuttle, he does an on my way ping just to get timers for the next scuttle. That was really smart. Like just small things teams do.
Would you say that Karsa is your favorite so far, out of the ones that you've watched?
I think Uzi is very educational as well. The way he positioned in lane I felt was quite good. He was playing the Sivir with teleport, and you can see him always stand on the left side. It's actually much harder to gank if you're on the red side and you're standing towards the river, because the enemy jungler can't just cut you off when they're walking towards downwards. And just taking a look at the runes right there from Flawless, we do see Presence of Mind coming out. It's quite frequent these days. You want to gank as frequently as possible.
Plus the ultimate hunter, though, Clement. I mean, that is some real focus on those early ults. Flawless here to try and support Zoom a little bit. Just going to be there for a counter gank if it's going to come out. But instead, look at Youngdang. He's down on the bottom side of the map, going to try and pick himself up a scuttle. So JDG just up there to protect Zoom. From the bottom side of the map, Vici doing much of the same.
Yeah, and we've actually seen Sejuani's get double ultimates off in teamfights quite frequently. The last stage for Sejuani, it's only an 80-second cooldown, and if you have a lot of CDR, you have the Presence of Mind running during takedowns. It's so powerful in teamfights.
Zoom going to be able to shove out this lane now that he has actually pushed Chelizi in on this Renekton. Surprising to me, because I feel like Renekton definitely has stronger early game damage.
Well, the Renekton gets priority early. He has better wave clear from level 1s and level 2s, but recently we've been seeing the just the grass game plank be able to win out on sustained lanes, and also Flawless this time around did path towards the top side, got that scuttle early. Not much Renekton can do. If your jungler's not there, then you kind of have to give up the wave and play backwards. So they didn't get much out of that level 3 power spike for Chelizi, and now he's going to have to claw his way back into that matchup.
Speaking of junglers, look towards the top side of the map, and you're going to see Youngdang getting spotted out by a ward. He was pinged out by JD Gaming, and now he's not going to be able to find his way towards the mid lane. He's just going to head back to his Gromp. Teleport coming back from Imp there in the bottom lane himself. So this mid lane hasn't seen a whole lot of action. Out of the 3 lanes, it really has done the least, and Both mid laners doing just fine. Even in CS, both have the Darksteel Corrupting Potion. So far it feels like a bit of a handshake of a lane.
I will say that Yagao has a sizable lead here because he actually blew the cleanse off camera from Jay. So he's not going to have that for the next gank. If he can land a Sleepy Trouble Bubble, it should just be a kill.
So that possibility there if Flawless comes in to gank, but he is level 4, so if he wants to wait till level 6, it'll be just a little while. Scuttle Crab going to be spawning in the top lane very soon, so that could be a point of contention because both of these junglers are on that side of the map, both the mid laners at about equal strength, sans the cleanse as you mentioned earlier. Yagao still not blowing his, has the barrier there. He's going in for a little bit of a trade onto Jay, putting a lot of damage down, but he senses something's off. Youngdang here and Flawless might spot each other out. This could be a mid lane fight.
It's not great for Flawless. Oh, he holds on to the Arctic Assault. Great use for that ability.
Really well played here. Yagao not going to find the Sleepy Trouble Bubble onto Jay, and Youngdang just going to help his mid laner push out, try and get a little bit of priority here in the mid lane. They have to be careful.
We can see that Jay actually had a bit of a rough laning phase, to be fair. Not really getting the tier on the first buy, and ooh.
It's a lot of damage going down there. The problem, though, I feel like Yagao just has nowhere near enough mana to contest this. That was after popping a Corrupting Potion, and he barely has not even a fifth of his mana left.
Yeah, I have to say that Yagao is still winning this lane quite sizably, but Flawless is in trouble.
He's in trouble. Chelizi has already roamed down Yagao. You really don't want to go too far for this. He's trying to get a little bit of poke there onto Vici. There goes the Cannon Barrage. This Scuttle Crab, this better not turn into a 3v3 over a Scuttle Crab, guys. It's 6 minutes in. The flash comes in. The stuns onto Flawless.
Ooh.
First blood onto Chelizi. Sorry,
Ooh.
Youngdang, and he picks up the Scuttle as well.
Yeah, that was way too far forward for Flawless. I don't think he had his frozen armor either, so falls down to a single combo by Chelizi. That was just pushing it too far forward. They thought they had the Scuttle coming back their way and maybe having Gameplank there, but Gameplank really isn't a champion that's going to have lane priority against the Renekton early on, so just pushing it way too far. No mana on Yagao either.
Unfortunate early trade there from the side of JD Gaming, but now at least the top lane is still going well for them. Zoom actually down in 13 CS, so maybe I misspoke a little bit there. Going to be able to catch this wave under tower, however. A lot of pressure coming out from Chelizi, even with that 3v3 where he took that timeout.
Yeah, interestingly enough, you can see that Zoom is holding on to his teleport for an extra buy over Chelizi, and that's why I think the CS difference is coming in on. I'm really curious to see what Gameplank is holding on to his teleport for. I think the main reason that that's happening is just because his lane was in a very bad position and didn't have vision. So he had to just hold that on instead of risking a gank and then dying there.
I'm interested in seeing, if you look at Flawless, he's already burned his flash in that earlier engage. Once he hits level 6, I want to see how willing he is to go in for a gank towards the mid lane or towards another lane if he decides it's a better priority for him. Because without that flash, you lose a lot of reliability in your combo. You can't land the Glacial Prison as easily. Arctic Assault not guaranteed as much. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. He has hit 6 now.
Now, normally I would say just go for the bot lane. You have two champions without any movement abilities. However, if you look at the entire rune choice, it's going to be a bit difficult. There's no press the attack onto Imp, and Taric, if he gets his ultimate down, which he already has now, is going to be able to get that invulnerability off. So Flawless is actually in a bit of a tough spot. I don't think he's going to be able to find easy kills, unless Yagao does that.
Yeah, that's just a free Sleepy Trouble Bubble into the mid lane. Not going to be able to follow it up with another Paddle Star, but just the Paddle Star was able to chunk Jay down to half.
Yeah, and you can see the build timings for Vici is just so suboptimal. You really want to get that early 500 gold back to get your tier early, but
Flawless
Jay hasn't
here.
been able to follow that.
Redemption goes down to the mid lane. LvMao's here to roam as well. Flawless goes in. Glacial Prison cleansed away. Jay was able to pick that one back up, and now Yagao just trying to zone off Youngdang a little bit here. LvMao is still up here. He's just having the time of his life in this fight.
Ooh, can he actually get the slope? That was actually quite close. Youngdang no flash. That was something that they could chase down on. And I love the idea of pairing Zoe together with the Yuumi. You can lengthen the range for Prowling Projectile when you use that portal jump. Send it forward, get that slow down. So that was actually a lot closer than we thought it would be. And I think that's the way JD Gaming have to play this and get that Zoe going.
Well, you were talking about suboptimal back timings there from the side of Vici, but for JDG as well, if you look at Imp at this point, he's got the tier and the pickaxe. Usually, when we see Kai'Sa's pick this up, you want to go for the pickaxe. Your next back wants to be the Mana Moon, but this time not going to happen. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, may turn into a 2v2. Final chapter comes in from the Yuumi, able to get the slow. A great jump in there from LvMao, and that's a kill onto Jay.
That's just the situation where you don't have priority in the bot lane, the wave isn't getting shoved in, and you allow LvMao to roam. The support roamer situation coming in. When you have that team captain going around like that, it's so hard to dodge out. And that was great usage of the cannon barrage as well, completely shutting out where Jay could go. Jay thought he was safe just having the Trundle on the left side, but it wasn't the case.
No, now JD Gaming going to be able to capitalize on this. They should be able to pick up this Ocean Drake fairly easily for themselves. Of course, Zoom having a little bit of trouble in the top lane still, down 20 CS, but this Ocean Drake should help him out in trades like that where he takes so much damage. Now he has a little bit of extra sustain for the rest of the laning phase.
Yeah, great early start for JD Gaming, and just taking a look at the kill, didn't go over to Zoe, bit of a pity there, but Flawless at least finds his footing back into the game.
He's almost got his flash back up, but more importantly, the Rift Herald going down to Youngdang. But this means Flawless has his ultimate as well, so he and LvMao are going to be able to do a whole lot to zone off of this bottom turret here from the side of Vici. Rift Herald's been dropped in the top side. It looks like this is going to be a race for the first blood turret.
I really like what Vici's bot lane are doing right there. You shouldn't be too afraid of walking forward.
Oh, Zoom in a lot of trouble. Might be able to get the kill onto
Oh!
Chelizi. He does find it. The teleport comes in as well to defend the top lane tower. Beautiful play there from Zoom.
Oh, and they didn't get the auto attack off on the barrel. Gameplank does find the explosion, and also the life of Chelizi right there. Not even the flash was able to take him away. You can't flash away from a parlay. So good play there, and they take away the Herald as well.
They stop the tower from going down, not able to pick up one of their own. But let's take a look at that play one more time.
And Chelizi was a little bit low. If he was making that play, he shouldn't have been at that HP. Let's watch the explosive barrel. He does actually get it. Oh, that was rough.
Gets it off the auto, too.
Yeah.
That is disgusting mouse accuracy coming out there from Zoom, but about what we expect. Last split, a lot of us were ranking him towards the top 3 of our top laners. Just incredibly mechanically talented, incredibly good in those 1-3-1 situations that we saw JDG find themselves in more often. And turns out when you're on the weak side, you can use a lot of those mechanical outplays to your advantage. And this time, Zoom not going to be put down by all the ganks toward him. Wow!
that was creative.
Yeah, that's a huge amount of chunk, too, onto Jay. Taking about half his health from the Paddle Star and Proto Belt. Temporary, of course. Yagao not actually built it himself.
Yagao actually won this lane a lot harder than it looks on paper. He delayed Jay from getting a tier until 10 minutes and had an early cleanse lead over him. So I actually feel like if Flawless didn't give up first blood, this lane would be very close to being uncontrollable at this point.
JD Gaming have picked up quite a few items at this point. They've also rotated their bottom lane towards the top side of the map, but Zoom has got his Trinity Force, and the bot side of the map, Imp has picked up his Mana Immune, so he's going to start that one stacking. Of course, double tier on the side of Vici, so they're going to be waiting for those later item spikes, whereas JDG have a little bit more of a fighting chance here in the early stages of the game, but Zoom getting focused so hard by Chelizi and Youngdang no matter where he goes.
The Chelizi and Youngdang combo, it's great to see these young players get some synergy between each other, just taking that turret plating wherever they can find it. They know the numbers advantage they had just in that split second. They saw JD Gaming and then their bot lane in the top side, so just a safe play to do. And as a jungler myself, I definitely encourage you to do more of that. It's just free gold on the map.
Going to be picking up quite a bit of that free gold, giving them about a 1.5k gold lead. Good slow coming in from the Prowling Projectile onto the bottom lane of Vici. So now Imp going to be trying to farm up and contest here against the Sonataric lane, looking for the scaling. But once it gets into the team fights, Clement, at this stage of the game, or within the next 5 minutes, we'll say, if a team fight breaks out, who do you favor here?
Well, I actually favor Vici. I feel like they have a better front line at this point, and Sona's ultimate, Crescendo is just better than Final Chapter, objectively speaking. It does less damage, but you get the instant stun down.
Redemption comes out, tries to zone away there, going to be able to stop Vici from the engage, but it looks like both teams might be roaming down for this still. They might still be looking for a contest at this point.
The best scenario for JD Gaming is actually just to get the burst down onto Sona. Sona can't do much during those short phases. She has one of the lowest HP bars, so you're really looking for that Sleepy Trouble Bubble into maybe Sejuani ultimate, instantly kill her. That's a great solution to it. But otherwise, if it's being a set fight where Vici can form their can form a formation, I think that they have a sizable advantage here.
Well, when we take a look at the turret platings, and it looks like Vici got the better end of those. A lot of them in the top side, a lot of them in the bottom side. All of them picked up by Chelizi and Youngdang. Meanwhile, JDG only able to pick up 2. Not quite what they were looking for. A lot of damage there onto the J, plus the exhaust comes out from Yagao.
Free exhaust, by the way. Didn't have to expend anything for it.
Yep. He's still rocking that cleanse, still got it in his pocket. And it looks like Vici going to be looking towards the top side of the map. Imp and LvMao are going to be having to be very careful up here.
So taking a look at the CS score, despite what conventional wisdom says, this is a Frost Queen's claim. So being behind 80 CS is actually perfectly acceptable. You're having 3 sources of income with the Kleptomancy, with the Tribute stack still going, and then you can CS as well. So you're going to see Sona rapidly catch up to the item disadvantage that she has, and I actually think this is a bit of a failing grade from JD Gaming to suppress the Sona. They didn't actually put enough pressure on this lane.
They haven't suppressed the Sona, but they've set up their Kai'Sa for success. She has the Q evolve. May need it if this turns into a full-on dragon fight at this point. Gets the W for the scouting.
Watch how they're positioning Sona. They're not letting her take any crowd control from the front. They're not going to let her get burst down. If you can get 2 Ws down in a team fight, it's so damn hard to actually lose.
Dragon's resetting. About 2,000 health at this point. JDG, are they going to look for the fight? They get the slowdown onto Southwind. A lot of damage there. Here comes the ultimate in from Flawless. Are they going to re-engage onto it? Here comes the Cosmic Radiance. Looks like Vici's just going to rotate off towards the Dragon. And Flawless not able to secure it. Picked up by Chelizi of all people. But the fight breaks out. Flashes away from Vici.
So I actually felt like Vici used the Cosmic Radiance a little bit too early. They didn't block that much damage and gave JD Gaming a second offensive opportunity. They do get the Drake, however. But that was a team fight where I felt like they actually had a little bit more of a lead where they could press and still go JD Gaming into going on their composition.
And if you take a look at the side of Vici Gaming, you look at those lovely summoner spells, you'll notice something. 4 flashes were used in unison in that last fight to get out of it. So at the very least, JDG don't walk away with nothing. The next 5 minutes, if they look for a pick, if they look for a team fight, those flashes are gone from everyone but Chelizi.
Oh, JD Gaming won that fight, hands down. Getting that many flashes in a team fight and getting another tower, I actually think that's far more important than getting just the Mountain Drake. And that just comes down to ultimate usage. LvMao had a great angle on that final chapter, right against the terrain, and Vici all had to scatter. He could have followed that up with the Killer Instinct as well, so there's a lot of ways to reposition on this composition. Really smart idea to allow Final Chapter to get the best use.
Looking at JD Gaming then, as you're saying they won that fight, what are they going to be able to do in the next 5 minutes to capitalize on these missing flashes? How do you want them to segue this advantage into a further one for themselves?
Well, we've been talking about JD Gaming's win condition, and it's been Baron and Baron only, so if you get the next Mountain Drake, I think that's a great way to start, wouldn't you say?
It's a pretty good start, Clement.
Yep.
That's going to be 3.5 minutes till that one starts. But in the meantime, in the mid lane, Vici rotating pretty much everyone up here. Free flash being used by Yagao. He's not that aggressive.
JD Gaming do just have the range advantage with Gangplank barrels and with Zoe poke. So the way I expect them to play this out is just try to get the next Mountain Dragon, set up around Baron, and try to find those instant catches. You actually do have great crowd control to finish off those kills. While on the other hand, I feel like Vici is going to have to spread the map out a little, try to take the pressure off one centralized point on the map.
JD Gaming going to be pushing in towards this bottom side of the map. It doesn't look like anyone from Vici is going to be able to contest them at this point. Southwind just trying to clear out wards as best he can, but that's not going to be able to establish a whole lot for you, my friend. So JD Gaming walk away with the bottom inner turret.
Yep, this is fine as long as Southwind doesn't die here.
Oh,
never mind.
The Sleepy Trouble Bubble Prowling Projectile. There comes Yagao. There comes the prison. But it doesn't matter. It's not enough to take him down, and those were 3 ultimates used there from the side of JD Gaming.
Vici trading 1 tower for 1 tower. They want a split push option on the map, so I think this is acceptable for them, but they do need to defend this.
Southwind really low, not going to pop the Cosmic Radiance just yet. All ultimates are available from the side of Vici if they want to try and turn this, but JDG have so much poke here with all of their members up in this mid side of the map.
Yeah, Vici Gaming are so reliant on that flash from Sona. If they don't get the flash crescendo, it's actually very difficult for them to lock down JD Gaming. So I think that's the reason that you're seeing Vici Gaming back off. Puff trying to walk forward, maybe get in range of that crescendo. JD Gaming realizes the situation, instantly backs off, and they get a lot of free damage on that mid lane tower.
We were talking about the flash advantage that was gained from that first team fight, and the the unfortunate thing about it for JD Gaming is that once that dragon spawns, you have about 20 seconds to start capitalizing it, to start forcing a fight before that advantage is completely nullified, because those flashes all came after the dragon fight.
If you know LvMao, you know that's enough time. Captain LvMao will make it happen. So I still think JD Gaming have a very good option to just set up here. that 20 seconds is enough of an edge to actually allow you to get vision advantage over that area.
Hopefully they'll have the ultimates back up in time, of course. Flawless with that rune setup. It already has his ultimate available in just a few seconds, which is just absolutely insane levels of CDR.
Yeah.
I love seeing that kind of optimization, though, because Flawless said, I have one plan and one plan only for this game. Hit the R button as many times as possible. Presence of mind, ultimate hunter. You're done.
Yeah, so Sejuani is a pick that's really been coming over from the LCK. We actually didn't see many Sejuanis in the first couple of weeks, but after it was the most picked champion in the LCK, LPL did follow up. Teamfight advantages seem to be a little bit more important now that the lanes have been more stabilized. We see this happen in the early split of the LPL. Usually everyone's crazy at the start of the split. All the lanes are dying constantly, and you're like, wait, so Johnny has to wait till 6? That sounds like a horrible champion. But later on, as everyone kind of gets their own footing back, teamfight becomes more and more important.
Here comes the Dragon spawning in just 18 seconds at this point. JD Gaming have the flash advantages. They have all their ultimates available. So at the moment, if Captain LvMao is able to find a pick off the back of Imp, just having him as the little backpack, it's like Yoda and Luke. He's just guiding him towards better vision control. But 3 seconds remaining. Looks like Vici might be looking for a fight here. They still don't have their flashes available, but they're coming up very soon. Looks like they have ticked over. So JD Gaming weren't able to find the advantage they were looking for.
Yeah, this Trundle doesn't really do anything in this composition. He's getting outranged by JD Gaming, so his pillar protection, if he can use his pillar in an offensive manner, like flash pillar alongside the pit, then maybe he can get something done. But it's going to be very hard for Trundle to be useful here.
This is interesting from Vici. They're saying, okay, we've seen how you've won games, JD Gaming. Let's try it for ourselves and go straight towards the Baron. Fortunately for them, JD Gaming on the better side of this, and Flawless is going to be starting up that Mountain Drake we were talking about.
And not the best call from Vici Gaming. If you look at the vision control, Vici actually didn't sweep Baron at all. So, not sure what they were trying to do with that Baron bait, and it gives over a free Mountain Drake to JD Gaming without any contest.
JD Gaming going to tie out the Mountain Drakes with that. It does allow them their favorite win condition in the Baron, but Chelizi going to be 1v1ing Zoom in the top lane. The Redemption going to help him out quite a bit. Jay is up here as well, but Yagao is. So both solo laners from both teams just going to be chilling out here on the top side of the map.
That was so well played by JD Gaming. He set up vision on the top side and then forced Vici towards the top.
Oh, here comes the ultimate and the engage. Final chapter comes down. Cosmic Radiance is out, but do they have the burst? They don't. Southwind does not go down. Youngdang with the zoning pillar. And this is what you were talking about earlier, Clement. If you can't burst them out, that Cosmic Radiance is going to spell the end of any fight from JDG.
Yeah, they did go for a sustained build on Imp, so no press the attack. He is going to have a lot shorter bursts, but I actually like the timing they went on there. As soon as he got the Mura mana, the 2-item spike, instantly try to go for a kill. They do burn the heal and the ultimate, and they get something for it. So I have to say, JD Gaming overall, they've been playing this map far better than Vici.
Well, speaking of the tiers, though, Clement, because if you look at Vici's side of the game, they have 2 as well, both of which have turned into the Archangels there on both Jay and Puff. So they have quite the capacity to fight as well, especially with the 2-item spike coming in from Chelizi. So around these next objectives, these are going to be very, very active fights.
Okay, Chelizi has better be thankful that Zoom did not turn around. He was teleporting in there half health in front of Zoom. I was like, okay, probably not the best idea. You can see the Colonel does agree that Vici did have a good lead for most part of this game, but then JD Gaming took it over with those mid lane maneuvers. Better vision set up on the side that they wanted, getting that Baron early and forcing Vici into full vision, like Vici trying to do a Baron bait on JD Gaming wards. Cost them a lot of time, cost them position, and I think that's the main reason that JD Gaming has actually established this lead now in the mid game.
This is an interesting question for a JD Gaming game from this split, because I didn't think I'd ever have to ask it, Clement, but when are they going to look towards the Baron?
It's going to be soon. They already have the vision for it. Currently, I think what they want to do is just make sure that the lane is pushed out far enough that Chelizi cannot be a threat, and they're all going to move over. This is exactly what's happening on the map right now. You can see the wave is going to hit around River, and they already have Zoom around the area.
We're looking Zoom here on the flank. Prowling projectile coming out. They
They
might
might
look for the engage. No fun yet, Clement. But they are trying to set up around that Baron. Chelizi on the bottom side of the map, going to pick up the red buff, so he'll have a little bit of slows, a little bit of regen there for himself, and this fight is going to be breaking out around the mid lane potentially. Everyone's positioning around this Baron. They know if anyone moves too far, the fight could break out at any time, because I feel like Vici still have the items to fight at this point, especially with the Archangels coming out from both of the mages on the side of the map, but Baron at least warded up for the time being for JD Gaming.
Yeah, I think JD Gaming can afford to wait. Morello is actually a huge power spike for Verzoe against this composition. Just the healing reduction is going to be quite crucial. You want to get that before you really go into the team fights. Gives you a much better chance to burst the Sona out.
Yagao has picked up the wave, and now we're looking towards the mid lane tower. Vici Gaming pushing in with all 5 members. Sleepy Turbo Bubble lands there onto the side of Youngdang. He's chunked down to half health. Prowling Projectile not going to be able to land on him. Cannon Barrage coming in for the slows. JD Gaming still going to be looking for this fight, but they don't have the chase for it. Oh my god, that is so much damage on the pump. There he goes again. Looks like there's going to be the Cosmic Radiance for the time being to stall out the fight, but Imp just flashes over the wall. Get the hell back here, and you're going down. 4 kills for the side of JD Gaming and a triple kill to Imp.
And that was just way too slow. Great damage coming in from Gameplank, landing onto the Sona, and no hesitation.
Sleepy Trouble Bubble lands, and Chelizi loses most of his health, so now half of JDG can just work on this tower, the other half can work on the Baron, and this time, Clement, I am so happy that JDG are going towards the Baron.
Yeah, JD Gaming do handle poke quite well. When they have a composition that outranges and has very clear initiations, they're able to draw Vici Gaming where they want to be. Vici Gaming, they thought that JD Gaming was in the Baron pit, so they want to put a little bit of pressure mid lane. They get tagged instantly from Youngdang and just bursted out. I actually want to see what found Puff during that team fight. He seemed like he fell to just 40% health instantly. I think it might have been something to do with Zoom, maybe the Gameplank, but it could also come from Imp as well. He is going for the AP route.
If I recall correctly, it was the Ludens plus max range Paddle Star. But we get to see it, Clement.
Taking a short note here. So not a lot of vision around the Raptors. A big no-no when you're fighting against this Zoe composition. It does not seem to be the W. Like you said, it was the Paddle Star followed up by the Icathian Rain from Imp, and that was just an instant kill. The ultimate was far too late from Southwind. Very long cooldown and burn in the previous fight. So JD Gaming with a good counter.
Vici have been able to pick up some items for themselves, but it doesn't seem like it's going to matter if they've lost all those ultimates, if they've lost all those flashes. Worth noting, Cosmic Radiance will be up soon, Crescendo still available, so they have the potential to fight over this Mountain Drake that's just spawned, but Imp is going for it immediately, and I don't think there's any way for Vici to contest at this point.
No one's going to be in range for this, and JD Gaming are going to hold on to this. If the game does go long, they can go into the second Baron dance if they so choose to, but they're looking to finish it right now. Already a 5k advantage here, and they have silent pressure in the bot side, and they have poke. They're just going to set up a siege and force Vici to run into them.
Well, it's not a 1-3-1 Clement, but at the very least a 4-1 has started here for JD Gaming. Going back to their roots a little bit, relying on Zoom for the poke, but he is potentially going to be stuck, caught out here. 4 members of JD Gaming, or Vici rather, are walking towards the bottom side of the map. But
I love that Mikhail's coming in from LvMao. A very rare item to see these days, but it makes a lot of sense. If the enemy can only crescendo, they can pretty much only hit the Kaisa, and if you can cleanse for Imp, no other target's actually burstable.
Cleanse for Imp, you cleanse for yourself there for LvMao. Justification coming in from him. Baron is on both of these cannon minions, so Vici really need to push them off at the time being, but Zoom is here on the bottom side of the map, just chunks Jay down unbelievably low. No flash available for Zoom, so no flash parlay coming in, but here comes the final chapter. Here comes the engage from Imp. So much damage, but the Cosmic Radiance going to keep the side of Vici alive for the time being. Can they find the damage to take down JD Gaming? They look for Flawless. Chelizi has to go golden in the backside of the fight. Youngdang goes down. Chelizi to follow, and it looks like JD Gaming might just be looking to end the fight at this point. Jay taken low by Imp. He turns onto the tower. Realm Warp to safety is what Jay decides to do, but you just left your Nexus turrets open, my friend. JD Gaming, the teleport comes in. They're keeping the minions alive, and they are going to be taking game number 1 versus Vici Gaming.
Strong show from JD Gaming. They understand the matchup so well. Just keep your mid lane fed. Give that Zoe over to Yagao. Let him carry you to the finish line. I really liked what Vici's composition had. I felt like they weren't pressured